Buddy Moon does here. Let's talk about all the games happened on Saturday the 15th. We got a bunch of games. The first game, let's just jump right into it. The first game is the Toronto Raptors beat the Milwaukee Bucks. That's pretty impressive. The Raptors, they've been winning games, in their last 10 games. Well, hold on. In the last 10 games, they're 7-3. Before they beat Milwaukee, they lost 2 games, but this is obviously a great win at Bucks. That's not easy to do. Yuta Watanabe started, played 5 minutes. Let's not worry about him. I don't think he's really fantasy relevant with all the guys. And Chris Boucher just finds himself a way to get minutes. 36 minutes again. Every single season he does this. This is the second time. Last year, somehow, some way he finds a way. So just got to ride with him. If you want to sell high, you can always sell him high because he could Scotty Barnes was out again this game. We have Gary Trent Jr. out, and OG started at the shooting guard this game. It was just all over the place. Really good stuff. 1 steal and 3 blocks. Fred VanVleet struggled from the field. From the free throw line, had 5 fouls. Not the best game, but still had 7 assists and 3 steals. He will bounce back, but I do worry about the high minutes. How much longer can he keep up putting up 30 points a game, right? So he clearly didn't do it this game. OG also had a pretty high usage. Same thing with Siakam, with Gary Trent Jr. out. If you get Gary Trent and you get Scotty Barnes, those guys are not going to take 20 field goals, right? They're going to spread the ball around just a little bit. But with OG, if he's not getting the defensive stat, which he did, had 1 block, also had 6 personal fouls. A lot of his value, again, coming from the efficiencies. 9 for 23 is not ideal, and 3 for 5 is from the free throw line is also not great. He needs to be an 80% free throw shooter and 45%, 45 plus. He attempts a lot of threes, so he's not a great field goal guy either. Precious Achiuwa got the start. Really good game. Once we can continue streaming him, until Scotty Barnes comes back. Pascal Siakam, huge minutes again. Is he gonna keep this up? 5 for 9 from the free throw line is no good. 30 points is great. A triple double with 2 steals. But all the Raptor guys, they are great fantasy wise. I don't know what it is. People on this team, they just get a lot of steals. It doesn't really matter who comes in and play. Even like a guy like Gary Trent Jr., he's gonna get a bunch of defensive stats because they're all athletes, really long. They just generate a lot of turnovers, right? They all obviously they could all block shots. A lot of those guys, impressive stuff. For the Bucks, Giannis, I think Giannis gonna struggle against the lineup like this, all super athletic, long. So he went 6 for 17. 17 for 17 from the free throw line. That is crazy from Giannis. That is actually pretty insane. If he can improve his free throw to just 80%, that may push him into the first tier for sure. I think he's right next to Jokic if he can hit his free throws. 30 points, 2 blocks. The rest of the line okay, and obviously struggle with this Raptors lineup. I think they counter Bucks pretty good. This Raptors team style wise. Grayson Allen hit 3 threes. That's all he does. And Bobby Portis had a double and 3 blocks. Which is good. Continues to be a very strong hold. And Drew Holiday is still out. I think he's questionable, so he might play next game. And Chris Middleton, 3 for 12. Filled it up. 3 steals, 2 blocks, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds, 16 points, and 8 for 9 from the free throw line also is very, very good. But with all the guys back, Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Dante DiVincenzo, now those guys need to be rostered. I don't think I want to stream them. There should be better options out there on the waiver wire for 12 teams. Category leagues, If you need threes, there's got to be better options out there than Grayson Allen. All right, the next game. The Portland Trailblazers came to DC and beat the Washington Wizards. Anthony Simons played 40 minutes. So is Robert Covington. Anthony Simons is a very big sell high. He is the 5th ranked player in the last 2 weeks. So pretty sure averaging 28 points, 5 threes, 8.2 assists, right? 51% from the field. None of those is sustainable. 90%, 91% is also not sustainable. So they have all the guys out. They're gonna get Larry Nance Jr. back. They're gonna get CJ McCollum back. Who else? I think those are the 2 guys. But CJ McCollum should be the number 1 option moving forward. And there's a tiny chance, maybe 5%, that Damian Lillard comes back. So all those considered, if you can do a 2-for-1 to get a top 40 player, you do it. Otherwise, I think he should be that top 80 player. He doesn't get a lot of defensive stats. He does score a lot, and hit some threes. But he's gonna be inconsistent. And with CJ out, he has a lot of opportunity. But I don't think and he played 40 minutes here as well. I don't think none of the stuff he's doing is sustainable. So try to sell high on him after this game especially. But McLemore could be a 3-point streamer in the short term until CJ should be close. Who knows? Maybe next week. Yusuf Nurkic with everybody out, that should really unlock him. But went 5 for 10 from the free throw line. That's bad. But 14 rebound and the playing time is up. So that's great. He needs to play over 30 minutes. Robert Covington also sell high. If you can, Larry Nance Jr. is out. So even when Larry Nance Jr. comes back, Robert Covington is still going to get 30 minutes. But now, he's not going to get an opportunity like this. Right? 40 minutes. No way. 9 rebounds, 4 steals, and a block. He's also been really good in the last 2 weeks. He's 12th ranked player. Both him and huge sell highs. If you can do a 2-for-1 to get like a top 40, 50 player, sure. Nasser Little at 18 points. He's a guy we could stream as well. He should have solid minutes moving forward. And for the Wizards, Beal is still out. Beal should be back next week, I think. I don't know. Last time he caught COVID, he came back like a week. So we'll see. KCP, 3 for 11, 8 points. Not the best game. Kyle Kuzma continues to play really well with the absence of Beal. 12 rebounds, 16 points. Well, efficiency is still an issue, but offered 2 blocks here and 5 turnovers is obviously not ideal. Daniel Gafford played just 11 minutes, had 3 personal fouls. He was in a bit of a foul trouble. So they give a lot more minutes to Montrezl Harrell this game and 11 minutes of Thomas Bryant. I don't think they're going to play Thomas Bryant 20 to 25 minutes yet. Who knows? But I still want to hold on to Daniel Gafford for a few more games and see where things are. If he's not going to start and if he's not going to play at least 20 minutes, then we can move on. But this game, I think, it has something to do with the foul trouble. Otherwise, he could be getting 20 to 22 minutes. Corey Kispert, not really interested. And Spencer Dinwiddie, the guy just plays well with Beal out. Without Beal, 27 points, great efficiency, and 7 assists. But try to sell high on him as well. But it's not like he's that impressive, like a Robert Covington or Fernie Simons. Like, he improved his scoring average and assist average. But everything else, it's not like he's really doing a lot. But obviously a bad loss for the Wizards. They started off the season kind of hot, and then they've fallen pretty badly. Let's talk about the next game. The New York Knicks beat the Atlanta Hawks. RJ keep it going. I think at this point, we have to pick him up. We just have to. And try to sell him, This is, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 games in a row now. He plays well, scoring over 20 points. Pretty good game, 80% from the free throw line for RJ is great. Julius Randle also played well versus, I guess, bad Atlanta Hawks team. Clint Capella was out. But for Randle, no defensive stats and bad efficiencies and bad free throws. Not ideal. Mitchell Robinson played 31 minutes. Notice why he's out. Well, it says DNP coach's decision. I believe he was out. Let me double check on that. But either way, I think he was questionable. Yeah, he didn't play. So NBA.com is making a mistake here. Mitchell Robinson, great, but no blocks. 13 rebounds. Everything else is great. If he added in 2 blocks, that would be a really good line. 2 for 4 on the free throw line. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen with him every once in a while. Evan Fournier hit 4 threes. We could continue to stream him until Kemba comes back, right? Because he's just, they have to give him minutes. Alec Burks continues to be a solid hold. 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 17 points. Really good stuff from him. Emmanuel Quickly, 20 minutes. Didn't really do anything. Like, I thought Emmanuel Quickly would be a good stream. But even with all the guys out, he's not getting 25 minutes. Even if he plays well, I guess he's just not been playing well, so not getting the minutes. So we could move on from him. A long time ago, to be honest. For the Atlanta Hawks, DeAndre Hunter, we could pick him up. He got 30 minutes here again, but don't expect him to be that, a top 50 player. Maybe 100, 110. He's going to score a bunch, hit some threes with great efficiency, but everything else is really not there. John Collins played 20 minutes. He's just, efficiency-wise is great. 5 for 8. This game, 13 points, 1 block. He's not the most exciting fantasy player. If he gets traded, he has top 20 potential, I believe. But on this team, just have no usage. And, even though Clint Capella didn't play this game, he only got 3 rebounds. Guys that play at the center position tend to get more rebound because, now in the modern NBA, if you play power forward, a lot of the times you're going to drift outside. You won't get that opportunity to grab those many rebounds, right? Or the team is not designed, defensively is not designed for you to get those rebounds. If you're Russell Westbrook, right, your teammate might get out of the way, blocks out for you. You grab the rebound, you can push. Bogdanovich was out this game. Kevin Huerter, this is the problem with Kevin Huerter, is very inconsistent. Trae Young, a huge game, 3 steals. If he can do that more often, that's great. Usually he's not though. 29 points is great. 5 assists. Okongwu, we could continue to stream him when until what's his name come back. Oh shoot. Clint Capella, right. This game pretty good here, but his free throw is not great, so you just hope that he doesn't get to the free throw line much when you stream him. It is a concern. Danilo Gallinari, 27 minutes, 17 points for threes. We could also stream him in the short term, just to see. He does provide some great free throws and some threes. If you want those two, you're gonna take a look at him, especially if the Atlanta Hawks got a great schedule. Delon Wright, 24 minutes, didn't really do much. We could not worry about him. All right, let's go to the next game. We got a lot of games yesterday. I think we got 7 more games to go. Okay. The New Orleans Pelicans lost to the Brooklyn Nets. The biggest news in this game is the KD news. Have to talk that first a little bit. So he's going to be out for a while, a left knee injury. It's kind of unfortunate that he ran into his teammates. Well, his teammates ran into him and hurt his knee. He's going to be out, rehab. I think it's MCL sprain. So he's going to be out for like maybe a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. But he'll be healthy before depending on your league. He's going to probably be back around the fantasy playoff time. So I think even without an IR, you got to hold him because he is coming back. And if you don't have him, unless you got a super team already, like without KD, with your first round pick, you're not going to win anyways. So if you're not going to win, don't drop him. There's no point. Like you can say you make the playoff at the 7th seed, but 95% chance you're just going to lose first round. There's 0.1% chance you're going to win the whole thing, then there's no point. And somebody else on your team maybe just grab KD and just win off the league out like that. So even without an IR, this is not somebody you could drop. This obviously sucks. That would help the value of James Harden. That would help the value of Kyrie Irving whenever he plays. Maybe Patty Mills even. Other high use. Maybe they play LaMarcus Aldridge a bit more. So we don't know. But this is obviously the biggest news here. Not great if you own AD, but that's fantasy for you. That's going to happen. He's been healthy all season. I think I just talked about him being pretty healthy. It's no great. It's not good. Not good. For the Pelicans, Herbert Jones, again, shot the ball super well. Had 1-3, no defensive stats this game, and had 5 personal fouls. Brandon Ingram, again, struggled from 1 block is nice. 22 points, but other than the counting stats, other than the points and rebound and some assists, everything else he's not been great. Even missed his free throws too, 4 for 6. Valanciunas did not have the best game. I kind of expected when he played the Nets because they put him in a lot of pick and roll situations. He's going to struggle with those assignments. They're going to pull him out, so he only grabbed 5 rebounds as well. Josh Hart, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, a very good game from him. And, when you play against Harden, you're going to get some steals, right? Somebody on the other team going to get some steals. Good game from him. Devontae Graham, 4 assists, 2 steals. He's kind of like low end, on the low end of value. He's a guy that very expendable once the playoff comes around. Let's look at the Brooklyn Nets. We already talked about KD. So Patty Mills, I think he's gonna have a usage boost. I would pick up Patty Mills, maybe even stream Cam Thomas sometimes, especially if the Nets got a good schedule. But Harden is the guy that's gonna benefit the most. He had another monster game, 27 points. Shot the ball well. That's another big thing with him this year is he has not been shooting the ball well. 15 assists is super great, and 8 rebounds. So everything is gonna go through him now. And obviously, whenever Kyrie plays, he's gonna shoulder some of the load. Patty Mills hit 3 threes. He's gonna have some great, like if he's out there on the waiver wire, I would go pick him up. He's gonna get a lot more shots, to be honest, because KD takes about 20 field goals a game. It goes to the free throw line a lot as well. Yeah, he takes exactly 20 field goals a game. 29-point score, so somebody's gonna make up for that. Cam Thomas played well. Like the rookie's got some offensive upside. Fantasy-wise, points and threes, but nothing else really. Let's see. Like they got a lot of guys like DeAndre Bembry, Bruce Brown. Given 30 to 35 minutes, they could be great. Not great. They could be good, but you just don't know who's gonna play how many minutes every game. The next game is the Sixers. They be on the road. They beat the Miami Heat. Joel Embiid is that dominant, 32 points. And the free throw, sometimes he's going to throw. So that, 8 for 11, not the best, but not the worst. 12 rebounds, good field goal this game. 3 assists, still continues to be dominating the every time he plays. Counting stats, super solid. Efficiency, also decent this game. This game, I think a couple guys were out. Matisse Thybulle and Danny Green were both out. So they went more offensive. They played Furkan Korkmaz 25 minutes, who didn't do anything. Tobias Harris played okay, 22 points and 8 rebounds. But he's a guy, well, at least he's very efficient this game. But for majority of the season, he has not been great. Tyrese Maxey played 40 minutes. With some of these guys out, Tyrese Maxey played high minutes again. So had 2 blocks here, so that's great. If he can get more defensive stats, that's going to help his value. But on the season, he's averaging like 0.7 steals. The blocks has been good, like 0.5, 0.6 for a point guard. That's good. Hopefully he can improve, right? Andre Drummond coming, had 2 steals and a block in 11 minutes. No surprise there. He can, if you pounding points and threes, he's always a good streamer. Or you could hold him, actually, full time as well. For the Miami Heat, Jimmy Butler. Very, very bad efficiency, 1 for 11. He's obviously better than this. In the last 2 weeks, where is Jimmy Butler? 41st ranked player. He played 4 games. I guess he had an ankle sprain. But like I said, like he's shooting 50% from the field. I think that's a bit too high. That's going to come down a little bit. But overall, his ranking is going to be like top 6, top 7, in my opinion. And the biggest thing is, can he stay healthy? This game, he did everything else. 6 for 7 from the free throw line is great. 9 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And he doesn't turn the ball over that much either. On the season, he's averaging 1.9 turnovers with 5.7 assists. Like if you look at Jokic, who's averaging 3.6, LeBron actually has been doing a good job cutting down his turnovers this season. Only 3.2. For that's also helping his compared to all the high usage guys. Curry is 3.4. Joel Embiid is 2.9. So Jimmy Butler, compared to those guys, his turnovers has been great. Even Anthony Towns has been turning the ball over 3.5 times. I don't know how Cat gets so many turnovers. He's only getting 3.7 assists. Harden, 4.7 yet. Harden is gonna get a lot of turnovers. That's fine. Kyle Laurie, 7 assists and a steal, 2 threes. He's a guy we could always look to buy low. A lot of the games, his numbers just don't look sexy at all. To me, he's like a top 60, just because the assist, and he also has a lot of threes. Scoring wise, he's not gonna do a lot. He's kind of like a mini Lonzo Ball at this point, but Lonzo Ball obviously gets way more defensive stats, but he gets more assists. And now Duncan Robinson only gets 17 minutes after that huge contract he got. Very interesting. All right, let's go to the next game. The Cleveland Cavaliers, another good win over Oklahoma City Thunder. Darius Garland, good game again. Oh my God, 18 assists, 5 rebounds, and a steal, 27 points. Good stuff. Lamar Stevens, 18 minutes, didn't really do much. And Jared Allen continues to dominate. A double-double. No blocks here. 3 for 8 from the free throw line is bad. But actually not the best game from Allen this game. He should be better than this. In the last 2 weeks, coming back from COVID, 65th ranked player yet. To me, he's a top 50 player and one of the better field goal anchors out there. He's going to grab 10 plus rebounds. He's going to block 1.5 shots, right? Maybe more if he, but like many other big men, right? He only really provides three categories: the field goal, the rebound, and the blocks, right? Everything else is pretty lacking. Evan Mobley, unlike the other big man, he can shoot threes. He can get assists. Had 2 blocks here, which is also good. Top 40 player rest of the way as a rookie, which is pretty impressive. I think in my short-term memory, which rookie was that impressive? I think in JJJ's rookie season, it was also pretty good. Well, if we go way back, Karl Anthony Towns that year, he was a first-round player, averaging like, I remember his rookie stat was like 17, 18 points with 10 rebounds, but elite efficiency. That guy was elite fantasy player his first year in the league because he shoots free throws. He shoots 50% from the field, 18 and 10. That's just first round value right there, and he also hits a lot of threes and get blocks obviously. Laurie Markkanen had 4 steals somehow. I don't think he's gonna do that again, and hit 2 threes. But for this team, Kevin Love has been falling off quite a bit. I think he's not a must roster. Just 21 minutes here because with everybody back, he's gonna play 20 minutes and just so hard to sustain what he was doing earlier in just 20 minutes. So really nobody's that. There's nobody really you want to stream, to be honest. Once either Okoro play 30 minutes maybe, but all the shoulder. Well, Rondo is also gonna shoulder some of the load. Darius Garland is gonna is carrying with the playmaking. But Darius Garland is by far the number 1 player on this team. Everything's gonna go through him. Like I guess Evan Mobley could get his own shot, post up, do a little bit. But Jared Allen purely is based on the plays of Darius Garland. Offensively, defensively he get his. For Oklahoma City Thunder, Shea again, counting stat look good, but struggle with the efficiency again. 36%. I don't know what's going on with him this year. Last year he was close to 50%. All of a sudden this year he's like 41, 42%. He is one of the biggest field goal killers out there. One of the biggest field goal killers. But if you look at the counting stats, still good. So I would suggest if you're not pounding field goal, try to sell Shea to a team that's pounding field goals. But 7 assists is great. A steal and 2 blocks, they're both good. Josh Giddey also had a decent, not the best game actually, had 6 turnovers, but a double-double, 10 rebound. He's a really good rebounder and hit his shots this game. 5 for 8 and had a block as well. Jimmy Robinson, Earl, Derek Favors, those guys not really fantasy relevant. If you want blocks, you could stream Darius Bazley at the moment, but this Thunder team, well, Lou Dort also needs to be rostered. His 3 points, but I think Shea, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, and everybody else is other than Darius Bazley. I don't even think I want to stream any of those guys. Like, do I want to stream Jeremy Robinson Earl if they have 3 games in 4 days? I don't think so. The production is too up and down, and the minutes also. All right, let's go to the next game. Chicago went to the Celtics, almost got the win, but they didn't in the end. Celtics got away, so this is a great win for the Celtics. DeMar DeRozan has fallen off with his efficiency. In the last 2 weeks, where is he at? Where can I find him? He's not even ranked in the last 2 weeks. My God. So he has not been good. On the season, he's fallen all the way outside of 31st. He was inside of the top 20. So, to be honest, like 40, 50 is where probably he should be. 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. 23 points. I think it's totally fine. In the top 40, 50. You could buy low on him if you throw him like a top 60, 70 player. Otherwise, just hold on to him. Or, if the owner is not willing to sell, it's fine. Totally fine. So we don't know how, well, Zach LaVine, we don't know when he's coming back. He might be out for a week or 2 with his left knee injury. So Kobe White needs to be streamed. But I think he's just way better off coming off the bench and playing versus some inferior competition to get his. Whenever he starts, even though the minutes is, and Caruso is going to be back. Lonzo Ball was also out this game. But Kobe White needs to be picked up and streamed in the short term. He hit 5 threes, that's great. Also had a block and 19 points. Anytime he can provide some defensive stats, that's also great. Ayo dumped some played great. 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 for 10 from the field. But I don't think he can replicate it. And when all the guys come back, he's not going to get minutes. Vucevic, with Zach LaVine out in the short term, I would expect him to play a much larger role on offense. 27. Well, everybody has to. 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2. So, overall very good game from Vuce. He should be a top 40 player with top 20 upside, right, on this Bulls team. He hasn't been doing that, shooting the ball very, very poorly. But in the last month or so, I think he's find himself, right? Yeah, 10th ranked player in the last 2 weeks, averaging 17 points and 10 rebounds. But most importantly, started shooting at 48%. Doesn't turn the ball over. Only 1.1 turnovers and 1.6 steals is really high, and 1.1 blocks. He's been doing it all in the last 2 weeks. So great stuff. And he doesn't need crazy numbers to beat that first round because he can do everything. And as a big man, he passes as well. Yeah, just need to shoot the ball a little bit better. That's all we ask from him. For the Celtics, they got a great win, and after this, this is still the 11th seed. This year, Eastern Conference is quite competitive. All the way down to 11th seed have a 500 record, which is where Celtics is currently at. Dennis Schroeder really trying to sell him for anything. Marcus Smart is still out. And Josh Richardson, we could continue to stream for some defensive stats. He can come in and play 30 minutes. Had a steal and a block, 13 points, and 3 threes. Jaylen Brown, 19 points. 4 steals is really, really good. But bad efficiency night from both Jaylen and Jason Tatum again. At this point, you just expect them to have bad efficiencies every single game. And they take so many field goals as well. Not a recipe for success, but this game they got the win. Behind Robert Williams, I think. Well, Dennis Schroeder was also a plus 14. And Tatum was a plus 11. Robert Williams has been huge for them lately. Again, really good game. 2 blocks, 6 assists. And he gets those assists, man. 13 rebounds. Just all around really good numbers. Really good stuff. And Horford, he was trending down. This game was great. This is why, I to be honest, because of the surgeries of Robert Williams, I'm worried about Al Horford because they're gonna give Robert Williams more minutes, and him and Horford playing together, they're not the best fit, to be honest. Spacing kind of horrible. So that's why if you can sell him, I would for a top 50 player or top 60. I'll try to do a 2-for-1 to get top 50 value. Jason Tatum, 2 blocks, 12 rebounds, 23 points. Made his free throws, but again, field goal is very, very bad. It continues to be bad. All right, let's go to the next team. The Clippers, without the star player Paul George, they can't get a win. They cannot get a win. But the news came out that Kawhi Leonard is gonna be back or trying to be around the playoff time, so they could be in the play-ins or the 8th or 7th seed, make it into the playoffs, and let's see what happens, right? They're gonna play Phoenix Suns, or they play Warriors, or they play the Jazz in the first round. Let's see. Lakers also gonna be there, so first round matchup is gonna be very interesting this year in the Western Conference because teams like Lakers and Clippers, they got a lot of superstars, quote unquote superstars, but they've been bad this year. Clippers Marcus Morrisina is gonna have really great usage with Paul George out. We don't know when Paul George is coming back. But 3 threes, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal is good. Batum has been starting. Had a steal, 13 points. He's a guy we could stream. Pretty solid, especially if you're looking for some defensive stats. Zubac just 20 minutes. Sure, if you want rebound and efficiency, you could stream him. Amir Coffey is another guy we could think about picking up and just see where things go, really. Had another decent game, 20 points, a steal and a block with 4 threes. And Reggie Jackson struggled with his shot. No surprise there, right? Let's look at the Spurs. Jakob Poeltl was out this game. So Jock Landale played 25 minutes. If Poeltl continues to be out, we could maybe look to pick up Jock. But, I don't really know too much about this guy. It looks like he got 8 offensive rebounds, so he's a good rebounder, but just one game versus the Clippers. Devin Vassell is huge. 11 rebounds, steal and a block, 2 threes, 10 rebounds. Even though bad efficiency-wise, but he got 30 minutes. And Derrick White came off the bench. I think at some point Derrick White is going to start, maybe next game. And Devin Vassell is going to come off the bench, but he's still going to get 28 minutes. So that's fine. Derrick White had a huge game, actually, fantasy-wise. 7 for 11. He's been struggling shooting the basketball. This is a great way to get back. And this is why we love him. 4 rebounds, hit 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and steal, and 3 blocks. He's a guy that does everything. And he's a huge shot blocker as a point guard. I don't know how he does it. He just gets it done. Get those blocks. Has really good timing. It's not like he's super athletic. They're way, like John Moran, you would argue he's way more athletic. He just knows how to get them. DeJounte Murray, 36 minutes, 18 points, 3 steals, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds. Continues to impress. Continues to be a top 15 player, and should continue to be a rest of the way. Doug McDermott, 23 points. Yeah, he's not. And Keldon Johnson, 17 points and 6 rebounds, with 3 threes. He's a guy fine to have, but very borderline value, as we see. And Thaddeus Young, after he criticized the coach, not the coach, the organization, he's just not getting any minutes. All right, we got two more games to talk about. This one was ugly. The Lakers, their worst loss of the season. They kind of need AD back. LeBron is LeBron gonna run out of gas? Like, I think you should try LeBron for Curry. At least I would. I just really have my doubts. When AD comes back, is LeBron gonna keep going what he's doing now? Again, struggled from the field this game. Had 2 blocks. Still a great line. Like, if you look at all around stats, 5 for 7 from the free throw line. He's also been shooting free throw very good. Just a lot of I look at LeBron's stats and everything he's doing, I think is gonna come down. Like 29 points. When AD comes back, I don't see LeBron average 29 points and 2.9 threes, right? 7.5 rebounds and 6.5 assists. Those two are fine. 1.6 steals too high. 1.2 blocks too high. 52% from the field. That's okay. And 77 from the free throw. So a lot of things he's doing is not sustainable, I don't think. And I don't even think on the per game basis wise he should be a top 10 player, really. He had a bunch of really good games with AD out. That's really pushing up his value. But when AD does come back, I just don't think the points and the threes, I mean, all the other stuff is going to stick. But maybe threes. He's just taking so many threes this year. 8 3-pointers attempted this year. Dwight Howard started, not really doing anything. This Lakers team is just a mess. Malik Monk is the only, I guess, bright spot, although he kind of sucked this game. We want to continue to hold on to him. Russell Westbrook, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Just, I don't know. This Denver squad is not exactly, the most talented, or, I'm not sure how they lose them by almost 40 points. Taylor Horton Tucker, their quote-unquote future. They could have got Kyle Laurie for it. Every time I look at Taylor Horton's stats, I just think about what could have been for the Lakers, right? If they got Kyle Laurie. I'm pretty sure they'll be better than what they are not doing now. I'm pretty sure. For the Denver Nuggets, easy win for the MVP in just 28 minutes. Had a triple-double. It's just finding guys open. I mean, Lakers defense probably just sucked again this game. Really easy game. Jokic, like I said earlier, he's still the number 1 player. So if you can get LeBron for Jokic, or you could maybe even, Curry's struggling right now, who's playing super well. Joel Embiid plus somebody for Jokic. Those are the things I'll try to do. James Harden plus somebody for Jokic. All those trades, I'll be very happy to do them. Will Barton, just 22 minutes. Monty Morris, 21 minutes. Easy win for... this game, because Bones Hyland went off. This is the guy that I think Josh Laurie was talking about, has some upside hype. I don't really know too much about this guy, but 10 rebounds, 2 steals, 27 points. But we know Coach Malone is kind of stubborn. He's not going to give this guy consistent 30 minutes after just one good game. So I would just hold on. If he plays well, again, the next 2 games, then I'll think about picking him up. But he really went off here. What the bench unit all did. Facu Campazzo, 9, just solid numbers, 5 assists and a steal if you're looking for those two categories, right? Zeke Najin also was a plus 27. Yeah, basically the bench unit carried. Really beat the shit out of the Lakers. All right, let's talk about the last game. Late game. This is a late one. Orlando Magic went on the road to play the Dallas Mavericks, and they lost. Franz Wagner, 27 points. This is why he's gonna have games like this, and as a rookie, and without the guys back, he's not gonna have the usage he was having before. So if he's still 2 for 1 to get like a top 60, 50, 70 player, very nice, very nice. Okiki had 3 steals. He's just a steals guy, really. And with Wendell Carter Jr. out, and Mo Bamba actually played, but he came on the bench. If you can't get him for any value, I would otherwise just stream. Robin Lopez still started. He went 8 for 9 versus the Mavericks, but it didn't really matter. No streaming value we could leave out. And Garrett Harris, still hold on to Garrett Harris. He might lose value very, very soon with Jalen Suggs playing 24 minutes, and who knows, Jalen Suggs might start eventually, but not right now. So hold on to Garrett Harris until no more minutes. Cole Anthony, also not the best game. Nobody played well on this Magic team. Mo Bamba came back, had 2 blocks. This is really the only thing he provides. He provides 8 rebounds, which is nice, but not like 12, right? It's above average rebounder in fantasy. But most importantly, the blocks. He doesn't really get you anything else. And as a center, he's not a great field goal guy. He attempts a lot of threes, as we can see here. So he's really just a blocks guy. And because of that, his ranking is top 40. So if you can do Mo Bamba plus somebody to get an Anthony Edwards, that would really improve your team in so many categories. But you obviously lose out a lot of blocks. But blocks is high variance anyways. So there's something to think about. Jalen Suggs, I guess the only one who played well, went 7 for 11 from the field. But if he's just going to play 24 minutes and come off the bench, I don't think he has too much value. It's not like he's going to be a top 50 player. Best case scenario, probably 90 this season, 90, 100. I wouldn't pick him up yet. If he start getting 30 plus minutes and plays better, then I'll think about picking him up. For the Dallas Mavericks, this was an easy win. So, Dorian Finney-Smith, still in a block, 2 points, not the best game. You could move on from him, to be honest. He's a really good streamer. Maxi Kleber still had 19 minutes with Kristaps Porzingis. They changed up the lineup a little bit. So if they're going to play Maxi Kleber and Kristaps Porzingis together, Maxi Kleber might be getting 25 to 30 minutes a night, and he's a really pretty good blocks guy and hit some threes. Only played 20 minutes because it's a blowout. Then he becomes interesting. The Mavericks are switching things up a little bit, starting Kristaps Porzingis at the center because they waived Willie Cauley-Stein. So who is their really true center here, right? So that makes things interesting that Porzingis is going to start at the center. Maybe he gets more blocks that way. Had a steal and blocks, 19 points. Pretty good game here from Porzingis. And for him, it's all about the health. Jalen Brunson just being a thief lately. He had 5 steals last game. He still had 2 steals in just 20 minutes. If he brings the steals, that really helps his value a lot. In the last 2 weeks. Oh, his ranking is pretty high. 63rd ranked player. Actually, not that high. Not the fact that he got so many steals. He's only the 63rd ranked player. I say how high. He should be like a 1 steal guy, not 1.5. Especially with Luka around, his value is not that great. Luka struggled, but doesn't matter. Versus the bad Magic team, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, but pretty empty line. Rest of the line, pretty empty. But he was a plus 20. And that's it for all the games, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.